It does have the blind spot detection system, and the indicator is here on the side of the side mirror. So it's right here. Usually vehicles will have it on the mirror itself. This one's here on the side, which I prefer, because when you have a light that shines on the mirror, you can mistake that for, like, you can just think that's just a reflection of some light behind you or something and not pay attention to it. This one is a clear, separate light that turns on, and so there's no confusion on that light. So the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Something to mention for the night video, it does have a puddle light here in the front. But yeah, it's just like the other side. It does have the power buttons. So you have a one-touch up and down for the power windows. They're a little on the slow side. Non-laminated glass. The side mirrors can power fold by turning this knob all the way here to that position, and it'll power fold them in. And then you put them out to the middle, and it power folds them back out. And they are heated side mirrors as well. So all 4 windows are one touch up and down. See how far back the back windows go. They go all the way down. That's nice. Some vehicles, they don't go all the way down. It does have the privacy glass back there. You have the ability to open up the power lift gate here, which is pretty convenient position. I like that. And basically the driver's seat, power seat, lumbar adjustments, and the massage, 3 presets is basically exactly like the passenger. Usually the driver's seat one-ups the passenger in some way, but this is basically the same thing. But yeah, pretty nice seats. I hadn't had any problem with them. Now to the left of the steering column, it has this little secondary glove compartment, and it's smooth plastic on the inside. So if you put like change or whatever in there, it slides around. I wish it was like felt lined or something like that, or just like a rubber mat. But it is nice to have a little pocket here. This is the switch for the headlights, okay? Typically you just leave it on automatic, but you can cycle through by pressing this button, the parking lights, headlights, off or automatic. And then you have what they call poor weather lights, and it's basically a replacement for the fog lights. You can turn that on or off here. And then you have the tilt and telescoping steering column. Now something to mention with this, when you're driving during the day and it starts raining heavy or it has fog or something, and the light sensor doesn't turn on the headlights, you can just hit this button right there and it turns on the headlights and gives you the poor weather light. So I like that. This is very simple. You just press that button, turns everything on, and it resets when you turn the vehicle off. I got the massage seat going. Feels really good. And there's the different adjustments you could do there on the screen. And let's go here to the fan speed, lower it down a little bit. Now I have the seat all the way back and all the way down to give you an idea of the potential legroom here. Oh, more interruptions, great. So anyways, the legroom is fine. I do have to pull it up a little bit to drive properly because I'm 6 feet tall. So if you're a little bit over 6 feet, no problem driving this vehicle, really. Decent amount of legroom here on the left and right. Hadn't had any issues with that. So yeah, it's pretty good. The steering wheel, it has the wrap steering wheel with the bottom flat on the bottom a little bit. It has these little protruding grips here on the side, here and here. So, you know, depending on if you like that or not. It is a heated steering wheel as well. But yeah, it looks good. It looks pretty good. It's a little on the hard side. It's not so soft like some vehicles, but it's fine. It's thick enough to where it doesn't dig into your hand or anything. Now the buttons on the steering wheel, you can see has some on the left and right. And this bottom part here is separate from the top part. So this is the volume for the radio, and there's the change to the tracks on the radio. On the left side of the steering wheel is the cruise control. Now it has the adaptive cruise control. It also has a lane keep assist system. You can control those by pressing mode, and you can choose which one you want to have on. You can turn off the lane keep assist system and just have the adaptive cruise control, or you can just have regular cruise control with none of the extra features. Me personally, I put it on adaptive cruise control, but I turn off the lane keep assist system because it has so many false alarms as far as me holding onto the steering wheel, even though it does have a grip sensor for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it is overall fine and easy to use other than that. Here on the right side, now you have these different buttons. You have the heated steering wheel. But this view, this up, down, okay, and left to right, all that corresponds with this gauge cluster screen. We'll get to that in just a second. The wiper controls are here for the front and back. It does have a rain sensing automatic function as well. And there's the rear at the top. Of course, there's a turn signal, and then here at the end, there's a button for washing as well. Here on the right side is the shifter. So it's a non-traditional shifter, and I like those because they're usually out of the way. So basically, you just turn it. So you can turn it forward like that to go into drive, pull it back gently to go in neutral, pull it back all the way to go in reverse, and press the button here on the end to go into park. Now, if you're in drive and then you go forward again, it'll put you in a sport mode. Go back again to drive. So you just go forward again. It's just toggles on or off. And then you can always put it in park here. Now, when you put it in reverse, let's go ahead and look at the backup camera here. I wish I had a dedicated button somewhere to quickly turn on the camera, because it's decent enough to where it comes in handy, especially this top-down view. But the clarity is not all that great. The position of the back camera is not all that great. So, you know, and has this different views here and here, but the position of the camera just kind of, you know, you're seeing some of the car and it's getting in the way, especially here at the top. You got like tunnel vision or whatever. So that camera position, not only should it be in the middle instead of one-sided, but also integrated a little bit higher, and a much better quality camera here, because it's kind of fuzzy looking. And you know, and if you already have, when the camera's clean, a fuzzy looking screen, when it gets dirty, it's going to be even worse, you know. So so yeah, that definitely could be improved as far as the actual camera itself. But I do appreciate the top-down view. That comes in handy. But once again, I would like to have a dedicated button to press and pull up this view anytime I want, you know, even like Toyota and Lexus, where it just automatically turns on when I get slow. Also, if it beeps and it tells me that, like, the parking sensor sensed something, go ahead and pop this camera up. All it does is pull up a screen with the parking sensors, not this screen. So yeah, this whole system could definitely be improved for sure. The gauge cluster is basically just a screen, and it has some basic information there. So if you want to change the view or change the information on the screen, this is where we use these buttons. So I'm going to use this view button, and I'm going to just kind of cycle through, show you the different views here. So I have the navigation map there if you want that, or there's the other view, and there's the first view, right? So if, let's say you see these little bubbles here, left and right, there's left and right here. So I'm going to go to the right, and you can see I can choose what I want on that little bubble. So I can change whatever I want here. There's also settings. If I choose settings, then I can uncheck the ones that I don't want to use, and then that way I'm not cycling through all of them all the time. So let's go, we can even have no display if we want. So we got travel time and distance here. On the left side, we choose the left button, and then we can do the same thing. Now, if you want the odometer, total distance is what the odometer is what it's called. It doesn't show naturally on the bottom, just automatically. You have to go into the settings and look for it, and it's not called odometer, it's called total distance. So it's something to consider. We'll go to operating temperatures there, and you can see it looks like different views here. Here's the home screen, and you basically press this button right here to go to the home screen. And it has the navigation map, which you can customize what you want on the home screen. You can also have different, you know, lots of different places to put stuff if you want on the home screen. And you can go to everything right here. This little button here is kind of like a cell phone where you have the icons. You also have a pull down quick access one here where you can adjust the brightness, stuff like that, and quick access stuff, which you can add to this, but it's limited on what you can put. So I was looking for a camera, and it doesn't have it. So there's this, that's what you can actually add to that quick access screen. All right, you also have these other icons up here. This one is the vehicle favorites. Next one is to turn off the idle stop. The next one is the navigation, which you can go to here. You can also search, find stuff. There's the map there. Kind of zoom in and out so you can see how responsive the system is here. but it looks pretty good. Has a nice, the clarity of the screen is great. I wish the backup camera did this screen justice, really. All right, the next one is your phones. You can pair phones here. Next one is your audio. So it could be your radio, it could be your Bluetooth, whatever, AM, FM, satellite radio. Let's go to satellite radio. See what it looks like here with the icon and everything. And this other car, you have two cars, this one and this one. This one is for your settings. And it basically has interior settings and exterior settings. And exterior, you can move it like that to get more options. So your climate control is down here. So you can hit this button here to go to climate, and it pops it up on the main screen. You can adjust the fan speed, where you want the air to blow, have different automatic settings and all that stuff as well. Recirculate the air is over here, and then you have the like defrosters and stuff like that as well. And you can sync the driver and passenger. Now the driver and passenger temperatures are controlled here. So there's you just slide your finger, or you can tap like that, either way, and then you can sync them. There's the passenger there. And then here in the center, you would think it would be the fan since you have that, but this is the volume. You actually have that volume, and then you have this volume here. So the fan is controlled separately with this button right here. So you have heated and cooled seats, and so you can see there's the cooled, 3-stage heated seat and 3-stage cool seat as well. Front and rear defrosters, all that stuff. Now you also have the ability, more interruptions. You also have the ability to heat up the wipers. So the space, the windshield, the space on the windshield right below the wipers, you can heat those up, melt ice, or just warm them up in the wintertime, that kind of thing. You can also toggle on your heated steering wheel from this place as well. All right, let's go back home to the home screen, or the back. Keep hitting it, and it'll go back to home. There's the 4-way flashers. There's cup holders, little storage spot right here. And I guess you can possibly put a phone there. Not really. But the cup holders have these little spring arms, and they're okay. There's no cover or anything like that. There's no, like, this doesn't move or anything like that. It kind of looks like this would slide down or something, or this would flip up, but it doesn't have anything like that. Now it does have this dial, and this is like a multifunctional dial. Right now it's set to volume, so I can turn it right now. But if I press in on it, it goes to your drive modes or your atmospheres. So you can choose what you want. Now atmospheres, so there's these different drive modes. It has snow mode, off-road, eco, sport, and all that stuff. You even customize one. In the atmospheres, you can go here to the settings, and you can have everything, all these different things right here, tied to the atmosphere, even the ambient light. Okay, so if the ambient light is tied to it, when you're in atmospheres, if you choose red, everything's going to turn red. The screen here, this screen, and then there's ambient light and stuff. I'll show you that in the night video. And it just kind of like changes a lot of different things with the atmospheres. It changes the mood of the vehicle, basically. And that's separate from the drive mode. And you can access them with this dial. You can also access the volume, or you can also access the drive modes with this dial. And you notice now it has like a pink color. Electronic parking brake is here. You lift up on it to engage it. The light turns on. To disengage it, you press and hold the brake, push it down. Engages the rear wheels. Okay, so in here is 2 USB-C ports. There's also a wireless charger. It's kind of weird. You can see this little cover here. Let me show you. I pull that out, and my phone with the case, and it's like a wallet case and everything, is actually able, if I do it right, to get in position and actually charge most of the time. It has this little indicator here that is charging. That's the only place you can tell where it's charging. I wish I had some kind of light here showing that it's charging, so I don't, overlook that. But because some wireless chargers, you get the phone in place, it starts charging, and then, like a minute later, it turns off, it doesn't charge, and then you get to your destination with a dead phone. So I'd like to keep an eye on the status light if possible. But it actually does charge. It's just in this weird position. The armrest is here. It's kind of like a rubbery, soft armrest. this lifts up, and basically this whole compartment is one big compartment. The only difference is this has this little quick access tray. You take this out, and it's rubbery on the bottom, which is nice. So if you put stuff in it, it's not going to slide around and annoy you. But in here, I got my business cards in the way. But in here, it's just one open compartment. There's a 12-volt power supply here, which is checking a box. It's not really useful there, especially for like a radar detector or something. But yeah, it's just an open compartment. So let's say you wanted to put something larger in there, you can do that. And then you have this quick access compartment, little tray there. And so yeah, the only thing is if you have, you know, like my business cards, they're visible, right? So if you put something in here, they're gonna, unless you put them on the top, and even then, still, somebody can look in the window and see, like my business cards, somebody can potentially see that. So it's not really as hidden as you necessarily would want for this type of compartment. I would prefer it just be completely sealed up, and so if you put something in there, it's no chance of somebody seeing it, right? This also moves forward and back like that. Also, you can ratchet it up a little bit. Ratchet up a little bit like that. Like that. So if you want to have a little bit of a tilt angle. But you go all the way to the top and go back down and it'll reset. It has an auto dim rear view mirror. It's auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor, which is located right back here. So we have these tap lights. You don't even have to touch them. You just get your finger close to them and they turn on. It's kind of neat. But you can adjust the brightness too. So you press and hold it and then release it at the brightness that you want. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You have these soft touch buttons for the sunroof. I'll get to that in a second. Turn on the interior lights. Have the interior lights not turn on with the door. That's the off light there. And you have roadside assistance buttons there as well. An emergency button. Over here is a light that's stuck on for some reason. I think it's defective. There's a switch. It's supposed to turn on or off when you open this up, but it's just staying on like 24/7, so it must be defective. So it has this little clip. I like the fact that this visor is a vinyl material instead of a cloth like the headliner, because it's something you're touching all the time and people get like makeup. You can see right there, somebody's got makeup on it. Easy to clean off when it's vinyl. If it's cloth, it makes it a little bit harder. Now this slide over, but it doesn't slide over all the way, so you know right where the sun's gonna be. So that sometimes is an issue. Basically the same thing on that side, except for the light's actually working on that side. So this is the way it's supposed to work. When that opens up, that light's supposed to turn on. It's not supposed to stay on all the time. Okay, so the sunroof. It is a shade. It has a shade that covers most of the light, probably like 80% of the light, but some light can come in, and on a hot day you can feel the heat building up and getting in here. But yeah, the right side you swipe like that, and it opens up the power shade. And in about 20 minutes it'll get to the back here. But yeah, this back portion is fixed, the front portion moves. All right, it's finally open. So look how huge that is. Almost the entire roof of the vehicle is glass there. So let's go ahead and just push up on the soft touch button and vents it. And then we can swipe back. Go ahead and swipe back, try it again. There we go. Now it'll go back and we'll see how far back it goes. All right, swipe again. Goes back a little bit further. Swipe forward, it'll close. And I won't make you wait for the all this stuff to happen. Okay, so looking at the visibility here in the back, it is not all that great in the very back. You can see that pillar is kind of wide, but it does have a little window there. It's not actually too bad. I mean, I hadn't had any problems with it, but it's just something to get used to, the visibility. But yeah, the camera does help out with that. And of course the parking sensors, blind spot detection system, or cross traffic alert. All the technology basically that the vehicle has makes it really a non-issue, but still something, you still need to look out of the vehicle and be able to see, so. It has a pretty good sound system. the Harman Kardon sound system. But when you put it in reverse, it's usually the best part of the song. It just completely makes it go away preemptively, right? Just in case there might be some parking sensor light noise it can make. Or there's another noise showing up here preemptively for some reason. A lot of interruptions and disruptions with noises in this vehicle, but just lowering the volume on your radio to where you can even hear it every time you put it in reverse is just unforgivable to me when you're interrupting music and stuff for no reason, absolutely no reason. And also when you have a lot of false alerts, even though this has a grip sensor, the lane keep assist system gives you a lot of false alerts. And so it lowers the volume when it tells you to put your hands on this wheel, even though most of the time my hands are on the wheel. So it has a issue where it interrupts your music in that sense too. So when you interrupt people's music, I don't even want to put up with random beeping noise and microwave beeps and all this stuff going on and touchscreen beeps. I don't even want to put up with that. But when you start messing with somebody's music when they're listening to it, that's unforgivable.